But while the portal fluid is flooding the Citadel and killing tons of Ricks, Operation Phoenix won't save them this time, as Evil Morty even hacked Operation Phoenix and made it transfer their consciousnesses into clone vats near the dimensional drive, so all of the Ricks and Mortys could be killed, and he could use their blood to power the drive, which would break the central finite curve and open a hole into the multiverse. While preparing to leave, Evil Morty offers Morty Prime to come with him if he'd like, but Morty Prime chooses to help Rick instead, and it turns out the supposed extra seat in Evil Morty's spaceship was a toilet anyway. He then launches himself into the black hole, which will free him from the central finite curve and bring him to the multiverse. Finally, he can stop frowning like the photo on his adoption file, and he begins smiling as he enters the beyond, leaving the Citadel in chaos behind him. Finally, he is free at last. But not for long. In Season 7, Episode 5, titled Unmort Rickon, Evil Morty finally gets to enjoy the freedom he's been chasing for so long, and is relaxing in a new home base he has, outside of the central finite curve. This is all good until randomly he is attacked by a monster because of the integrity of the central finite curve being compromised. And this compromise causes the branch of the multiverse which he's living in to be disturbed. It turns out that Rick C-137 and Morty Prime accidentally caused this to happen, by messing with plenty of dimensions in order to try and find Rick C-137's enemy, Rick Prime. So Evil Morty decides to visit them, and put a stop to this disturbance. Can't you for once let a Morty have some peace, Rick? That was kind of the whole reason he even left to the multiverse in the first place.
I don't live here, which is why it's insane that you're still bugging me.
Because Evil Morty doesn't want to deal with Rick, he gives him a tip to make the process more efficient, without disturbing him in the multiverse. This change causes them to find a decoy of Rick Prime, which brings them to a trap of Primes. And after outsmarting the trap while working together as a team, Rick gets a new lead on finding Rick Prime, because of some goo which he got from the trap. Even after this, Evil Morty still chooses to stick around, because he is aware of Rick Prime having a weapon called the Omega device, which can wipe people from infinity, and Evil Morty does not like the idea of someone else having this weapon, because that would mean that he himself could be wiped from infinity by it. Rick then goes to kill Rick Prime on his own, and Evil Morty doesn't trust in Rick's ability to do so he decides to follow along and bring Morty with him to Rick Prime's base, where all of them end up fighting Rick Prime together. During this fight, Rick and Evil Morty are both defeated by Rick Prime, and Morty Prime is left in an awkward reunion with his grandpa. But during the time where Rick Prime puts his guard down, Morty Prime stuns him, which incapacitates him. But it turns out that during the chaos, Evil Morty switched shirts with Morty Prime, as well as put an eye patch on him to confuse Rick Prime, and faked being his grandson. Now that Evil Morty has Rick Prime incapacitated, he does what he's done to all the other Ricks, and steals his knowledge with a brain scan, as well as deletes his Operation Phoenix backups. During this brain scan, Rick Prime recognizes how intelligent Evil Morty is, so he offers him to be his sidekick, and tells him how they can be like Batman and Robin.
I don't need a Robin.
Clearly, Evil Morty is aware of how much more powerful he is than even people such as Rick Prime. And this time, instead of ending a brain scan by killing the Rick, Evil Morty